Of
the
like
highest evolutionary
that.
um organism on the planet, which
Yes.
was the melanated,
Yes. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
right?
That makes sense. And we were peaceable people, just like in the Bible when they talk about what was it? Was it Babylon? No.
We was look,
Before
we
Babylon?
still warriors, right? But we had ran out of wars to fight
Right.
because we had got so intelligent that war was like asinine, foolish, and childish.
We had come to that
That's how it
level of
evolved,
right
right?
consciousness.
So the golden age has to bring this back to the surface so that we know the level of potential our mind have in order to move into a golden age again.
Mm,
Because that's where we're going. And the sun cycle brings the golden age.
mm,
In the Jubilee year, 2022 is the Jubilee year. It's the final closing out of all of the contracts that held people hostages and enslaved.
mm.
By the close of the year, there will be no more contracts that's open.
Mhm.
They'll all be closed. And
Mm.
the only thing we're going to have to work on is getting Haiti to close that war contract.
Okay. So I had a dream a long time ago, and it was of Oya. And so I know that they're a dying breed, but it's just like um, the reason why I pitch community and unity so hard is because, like you said, they separated us and they lied to us so we could fight off each other and kill off each other. Um, but that artificial intelligence and like that, everybody is so big on having the newest Tesla and all of these things. Like, I hate to sound so old school, but I just feel like um, they are. That's their last hoorah.
Okay, so what they did, this is what make it difficult for us to face the short struggle we gonna go through. We gonna get this struggle.
Hmm.
Everybody gonna get this work.
Hmm. Because it has to be
Yeah,
in
ain't no
plans anyway. So it's like,
the level of your preparedness gonna determine how much of this work your ass gonna get.
yes, sir.
That's it.
Hmm.
So when the system shut down, don't say we didn't tell you. Don't say you didn't have a chance to prepare, because I've been telling motherfuckers for 3 fucking years.
Hmm.
Right? I laid down the structure of the fall so that motherfuckers don't step into the road and a building drop on his head. Right? This shit is over with. But in the process of it, you still got to clean up the old shit before you break out the new shit.
Right.
Because you need to know what part of the old shit has to go and what parts you can use even if it's temporarily. Because you got to use anything that's useful.
Right.
And anything that's not useful, you discard that shit. This is why we say no more GMOs in the food,
And
right?
hmm
So they burning down the factories that making the GMO food. One of Gates' motherfucking manufacturing facilities just burned up overseas yesterday. So we not watching those little events like that, like Rome on fire. The time, the date, what's going on in the world politically, what's going on across the land socially, right? If you don't pay attention to that stuff, you can't see it. But if you see it, the people that's not paying attention is gonna say that you don't see what you're telling them
hmm
because they can't see it.
hmm
They don't have the glasses on.
yeah. You
And somebody said, "Don't forget to read that card
know,
that you must have
there
pulled.
wasn't
You
there
pulled a
wasn't no
card."
yeah. I have been just when like I was talking, stuff was coming out confirming, but he hasn't asked a question, y'all. But I hope y'all listening to what he's saying, because that's the thing. It's like, you know, the road is narrow, and the reason why they say that is because y'all attention span, even my attention span, I'll come home knowing I need to do some shit and stay on Instagram. Like, how prepared are you? How prepared are you? Because and how right are you with spirit? How light is your heart? Because there's a time and a place for everything. And don't think that you know what really fucks with me is when people think they're supposed to be covered by grace when they doing all kind of wrong shit.
Well, you know, that's just narcissism at its finest.
But that's that
I can
inaccountability.
fuck over. Look, I'm fucking over everybody I come across talking about unprotected.
Right. And then get mad when you get stabbed, or you know what I'm saying, you trip and break your arm. What? God didn't have me. No, you didn't have God.
Flat out. Flat out. So we need to go back to where we didn't have nursing homes. If one of the aunties couldn't take care of herself, she'd go out to Big Mama house.
Yes.
And then the teenage girls that was learning health care would be they CNAs that take care of them because they family, they ain't gonna mistreat them.
Yeah, they'll be over there, and then you soaking up all of that game.
Yeah,
Like you getting all of that, all of those lessons. You know, when elders, like, you think they repeating themselves, or they just running off at the mouth. That's spirit speaking to you. That's a lesson.
yeah,
That's lessons. You know, the best way to learn something is through somebody else's experience, so you don't have to go through the hardship. So when you hear
that's the way.
people
That's called the way of the wise.
So when you hear people sharing their personal story, instead of making fun of them and talking shit, actually listen to the lesson. And a lot of y'all laugh or make fun of people when they being vulnerable and really missing the blessing is coming to save your ass. I need to be more compassionate. I'm not being compassionate because the reason why I'm talking like that is 'cause I'm talking to
Look,
myself.
you care. Look, that's segment.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Segment ain't gonna look. Segment got look. Y'all gotta straighten the fuck up. That's what segment tell them.
You know.
I don't got look. I don't got time to be trying to burp you and give you a pacifier. Get your motherfucking ass off your motherfucking pity party horse. Get your ass in the fight. You part of this shit, whether you want to be or not.
Mhm.
So you might as well pick up your motherfucking banner and march with the motherfuckers that's gonna be victorious because they on the move.
Yeah.
That's what segment gonna tell them.
Get it together, like 702 said. We have to get it together. And the one thing that irks my nerves is when we claim royalty, royalty, royalty. It's in our DNA. We got magic, and ain't nothing magical about none of the shit that you do.
Yeah,
You don't
no,
do nothing
nothing
magic.
magical and nothing regal.
Nothing.
Got no etiquette whatsoever.
No code, no respect, nothing.
Yeah.
But what you said was so true. If you are able to connect with your family, if you still have elders that are living, because this was an attack like on the elders, just really on all of us, but really attack on our elders, because when history is lost, the younger generation is lost. And a lot of my generation is still trying to live their younger days. So that grandma and grandpa shit is kind of far fetched or hard to find because they trying to relive their youth. So we have to take our position as elders and really settle down in our lives and in our hearts and in our minds. And we have to open up to the lessons that we share with each other. And we got to connect with our family again if you can. If you can make it wrongs right, if you can make amends, do it. If you can't, pray about it. Ask for forgiveness. Ask to be led to figure out how to change and how to elevate and how to be the
And
best you
listen,
possible.
the secrets of prayer, since we on Oracle Connection, is the first understanding is that you talking to your higher consciousness, and your higher consciousness is your direct telephone line to Prime Source Creator. You can't send your higher self to get an answer and Source don't give it to him. The problem is when you get done with the prayer, that's when you have to, as they say in the church, let go and let God.
Right.
Right? You got to let your higher self in the universe work out the problems that's too complicated for you to work out, but you work out the ones within your control.
Yeah.
So you make the microcosm flips the macrocosm. If you control the ones you can, the ones you can't, the universe control for you.
You are giving big gems. That's a big one.
Right. And don't close your prayer by saying Amen, because that's telling the force of the God to keep it a secret. And if you keep it a secret, then it's kept sacred. That means you can't access it in the mundane.
What's the meaning of I mean? Because I say I mean or Ashe.
It comes from Amen or Amun, and it means the unknown aspect of God, but it's an alchemically charged name,
Mm,
and it has a direct energetic effect on whatever it is that you're sealing with Amen. That means that you saying the prayer, but you blocking it at the end. You
right.
keeping it a secret.
Like God got
And
caller
because
ID and
it's
an answer
sacred,
in the phone or something.
right. So because it's kept sacred, you can't manifest it in a mundane, because the mundane is the profane. The sacred cannot be accessed in the profane. So when you tell your higher self to, I mean, keep it a secret, that means keep it sacred. That means save it for my next life because I ain't going to access it this one.
Hmm.
You actually putting yourself in a personal conjure, but you don't know it.
So in let's say in relevance to people who say it without that knowledge that you just gave, then
Right.
their
So
ignorance
they got
provides grace,
accumulated,
right?
yeah. So they got accumulated energy built up in what you, the lack of a better way of putting it, I'll say prayer credit.
Mm,
All you did was recorded all your shit in the universal mind because you did nothing in order to make it surface in the physical world. Right. Now, some people know how to use the energy by doing certain stuff in the physical world that activates the prayer energy that was kept sacred.
right. Because the power
Right.
of intention sometimes can.
Right. Right. So this is what those prayer groups, what we call prayer warriors in the church,
Mhm.
they used to be the ones who held the secret to making the prayer manifest in short order by using the 369 science of the sisters.
Mhm.
That all of that got to be re-taught to y'all.
Mhm. Yeah, prayer was sacred. Prayer was
Yeah.
you.
But
Yeah.
prayer is the uh, talking to the creator.
Mhm.
Meditation is listening.
Mhm.
If you don't meditate, you won't never get your answer.
That's why sometimes you need to stop having all them distractions. Sometimes you got to shut that music off because we're people that love like music. We're people who love distractions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes,
Yeah, but we can also learn how to use those things as facilitators.
oh, for sure.
But we have to be also willful minded that that's what we're using it for.
Yes.
If we don't attach that to it, we can't use it for that purpose.
Yes. Correct. I like.
Right? So people be saying, what's the meaning of life? Right? We hear it all the time. Ain't got none till you give it one.
Mm-hmm.
Life has no meaning until you give it a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Has no value until you value it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have no value for life, then your life has no value to yourself. You know, you are running what you call an errant course,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the best thing to do is to always keep in mind to follow the golden rule.
What's the
If you don't want nobody to mistreat you, don't mistreat nobody. Each one teach one. We all gonna reach some.
love thy neighbor like you thy love thyself?
Yeah. Don't love your enemy though.
No.
But you better damn well respect that motherfucker, or he gonna run roughshod over you.
Yeah.
Don't that's what it should have said. Respect your enemy, not love that motherfucker.
Respected enough to keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, because once you respect him, that means that you got enough understanding to know the danger that it is to fuck with this particular enemy, and for you to overcome that enemy, it requires you to have a certain level of um, insight that supersedes what they're capable of doing to overthrow you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But by you being respectful of their position and their power, now you put yourself into the position like Aikido to deflect it and use their energy against them, as opposed to allowing them to use it to subjugate you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In this particular case, the sister's taking a ball and going home, gonna shut this bitch down. But it's gonna happen in waves.
Mm-hmm.
It's already started, so it's just a matter of when.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
All right, I'm about to wrap this one up. I'm getting tired now. I'm ready to lay my butt down.
Yes. Well, have a great rest. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
You taught me so much. You're always sharing so much. So I thank God for continuously protecting you and blessing you and giving you provision and all of the good things. So until we speak again.
I think you're trying to make me blush.
No, I'm giving homage and paying respect. All right.
Yeah, that's gonna make me blush.
Oh, you are red Indian. You got red tone. All right.
Yeah, I'm ready, red for real.
Right.
Yeah. All right, sweetie. I'm gonna talk back to y'all later. I'm about to exit out of this one. Memory in the temple and the agreements being made, and I went back after that, and I was like, when you're in the studying to learn how to understand spiritual things, one of the things to tell you is to always step back and try to see where do this fit in the bigger scheme. In order for us to entertain the memory, um, source would have to have a use for us to have these memories. So when I began to do the research on past life regressions, past life memories, I found that a lot of the people have past life memories at a certain point in their life where they are either about to do something um, major, reveal a major piece of life-changing information to the world, or something along them lines. And this makes life kind of spooky when you start seeing yourself as somebody that would receive a piece of information or do something that would be changing to the world. And so we look at all of the different myths and legends around the world, and then you try to line them up. And you try to line them up, and then when you have those past life memories, you match them up to those myths and legends, because sometimes you are actually seeing yourself in a myth or a legend of history as a reflection of who you are now. So that also ties to the stellar events, which was part of what brought all of this back to surface to the memory. When you look into the stars, there's positions set on the ground by what we call the magi, or the magicians. And these positions set on the ground is to map out events that take place according to a particular stellar alignment. So when you see the Giza complex and you see that the three pyramids line up perfect with the Orion belt, you know, that's telling you that there's a fixed position there and that this had to answer for something. Now, it can answer for events like when was it built? Well, if we line it up to when it was built, run the procession in the reverse order, you get back to when it lined up again. It's like rolling the clock backwards, so you get back to 3 o'clock, you know where it was set. So it worked the same way with the stars if you want to know when they were set. So they said that's one of the reasons why the stellar event would tie